The next award recognizes someone who has made significant contributions to the conservation of our natural resources. This year's NACD Distinguished Award winner is Creede Speake of Springer, Oklahoma. Mr. Speake has been serving conservation efforts in southern Oklahoma for the last 69 years and is a living treasure of American conservation history. He's been actively involved in his state's watershed flood control program, assisting in the securement of 39 easements. He's been instrumental in the restoration of native prairie in Oklahoma, New Mexico, and Texas, working with districts across the region to sell seed to create funding for local conservation activities. Speake has always been the type of locally led conservationist envisioned by Hugh Hammond Bennett as ideal, never seeking acclaim or praise, and always doing whatever it takes to protect the soil and water in Arbuckle Conservation District. To this day, Speake continues to serve his district with unrivaled passion and dedication, ensuring southern Oklahoma will be a better place for future generations. Unfortunately, Creede was unable to be here with us this week, but he recorded his remarks to share with the audience.
I'm Creede Speake, and I member of the Arbuckle Conservation District. I've been a member for probably 60 years or maybe 70. Become a member back in the 1950s. When I started putting this ranch together, I started from nothing. I just had leases and what have you. And most of this country in here was Chickasaw Indian country, and they farmed cotton and corn. And so nearly all this whole country had been farmed and was back to needle grass, and we needed to bring it back to native grass where it was productive. And that's when I got started doing this. Well, we need to keep this whole country from washing away, and back in the olden days, they didn't do any conservation, and at a lot of this where they farmed it and used a moldboard plow, ended up in a lot of canyons, ditches, and what have you, and we had to kind of conserve those things. But that's when I got interested in it, and when we started putting this whole land together, and I knew I'm not a farmer. I was a rancher, and wasn't interested in any row crops or anything like that. And so we were wanting to put all this stuff in grass and redo it. And that's when I got involved with the Soil Conservation District. Oh, there's a lot of kind of crazy stories went on with this thing. When I was interviewed for with this young lady from Oklahoma State, she was asking me how we put all these flood control easements together, and I said, well, we put them together like a cowboy, but they're all legal. And there was one of the structures, which it's Site 27, which is the largest structure on Caddo, and the landowner really wanted it because he wanted this big lake of water, but he didn't own the property where the temporary water would be, and we had to have an easement on that. And I happened to know that that property that adjoined him was left in a state where they couldn't sell it, couldn't do anything with it. And I had luckily met Mr. Blankenship, who was one of the heirs, and he was a lawyer in Oklahoma City. And I called him and asked me. He said, "Well," said, "you probably don't know this, but said I can't sell it to you. Can't do anything." And I said, "What are we talking about?" And I said, "All we want is the easement for the flood stage of the water, and otherwise there won't be anything else. I said, just that." And we talked a little bit, and he said, "Well," said, "I'll tell you what I'll do." I said, if I can deed it if I can get it deeded to the Soil Conservation District, would that be all right? I said, sure. He said, well, we'll do a friendly lawsuit. I mean, a friendly condemnation. And so that's why we got that thing. And so we used that money, and then we sold that easement that he deeded to the district to the landowner that loved the thing, and we kind of got a little extra money. But it was all legal. Well, we've learned a lot of things, and that we didn't use back early, and we've learned a lot about conservation, and we've benefited from it. Everybody's benefited from it. Not only the farmers and ranchers and what have you, but the general public has benefited from it, from erosion control and all that kind of stuff. I'd want to get more people involved in it and kind of try to educate the public that aren't involved in conservation, that what we are doing and what benefit we're providing for them, along with what it benefits us from.
Ladies and gentlemen, Creede Speake. Now we can clap. Here to receive this award on behalf of Creede is Trey Lamb, Executive Director of the Oklahoma Conservation Commission. Thank you, Trey.